Okay, so I'm gonna start off this beat by using this nice grand piano sound inside Keyscape. It's LA Custom C7. I usually use this piano when I want just a nice, clean, dry piano. It's an acoustic piano and it has a very authentic feel. And I'm gonna play in the key of F minor like this. The way you want to make like some R&B beats just using a piano sound by using a 6-5-4 chord progression, and it goes like this, just in case you didn't know. For R&B beats, we got to use a little bit of complicated chords, but I'm glad I can show you guys exactly what I'm playing here. I'm playing this right here, which is an F7-9. Regular chord would just be like this, which is an F minor, but I'm stretching it out. I'm sorry, a regular chord would just be an E like this, E flat, but I'm playing an inversion like this, and this is going to be called an E/F actually, because I'm playing an F on the bass and I'm playing an E flat chord. And yes, it sounds complicated, but if you follow this tutorial exactly how it is, you can play it too. The keys are literally right there. All you got to do is just pause the video and follow along. I'm going to record in the 87 BPM because I want this to be nice and smooth. It's going to be a straight piano beat. I am going to add some pads and maybe like something else after this, but the main instrument is going to be the piano driving the whole beat. I am going to play F, right? And then I'm going to go down to an E flat, then to a D flat. Okay, this is exactly the chords that I'm playing. So it's just a nice R&B chord progression. It's like more like those DJ Khaled type of beats. Those hits, like those R&B hits. So let's just try to record this in. I'm gonna leave it right there because I'm just gonna go ahead and loop this back. This is the chord we have. Just a nice little loop right here. And then to make this a little bit more vintage, I am going to add an RC20 to make it more vinyl and just make it sound more vintage. So I'm going to put some noise actually on this. Not wobble at all. A little bit of distortion and some magnetic. I'll leave a little bit of space too. I wish my pedal was working. I have one of these pedals. Let me see if I can get out real quick. I have one of these, still kind of like brand new, but for some reason it just wasn't working right now. I don't want to really figure that out later, but technically that's to help sustain the chord, and it's not really sustaining, so I'm going to go ahead and add some reverb to this just to make it sustain a little better. I don't want it to have an excessive amount of reverb. I just want it to have enough so the chords can be smoothly transitioned every single chord across. So I'll go with the smooth plate option. Like right there, it's just transitioning nice. And then we're going to EQ it a little bit. Make this a little bit lower. Because we don't want the piano to be so harsh. We want the piano to just fit right into whatever else we're going to add. And for the artist too, we don't want that piano to just be pounding the whole way. And that's why we add the RC20. And the EQ can sometimes work as a compressor as well. When you reduce it, it kind of limits the frequencies that are just punching out. It sounds way cleaner now for sure. Now we could just gain it up a little bit. It could still sound even cleaner than that. I can go in here and then maybe reduce some of the velocity pitches right here that are like a little bit high up. They're a little bit too harsh, like these red ones. But for the most part, it doesn't sound too bad. And we'll just leave that one like that for now. My second instrument, I'm going to go ahead and go to Analog Lab. This is stock preset inside Analog Lab already, so it's not a bank that I have. So it's called Autumn Spirit. I'm going to use this pad right here. But earlier it was like this. You could leave the movement on, but I'm going to adjust that after I play whatever I'm going to play here. I'm just going to literally play the same chord progression, maybe just add a few little dings here and there, like a little grace notes, but pretty much the same thing. So let's see if we could just record this in really quick. I honestly don't even know why I played the left hand on this one, because I don't want any of the low end on this. Let's reduce all the low end here. And now we can go ahead and see where the movement takes us. I kind of wanted to go with the BPM. Let's quantize this a little bit. Let's go with the BPM. We can add some brightness to this. And then let's see what the phaser mix does. It's very subtle. Everything is just sounds super subtle. Could even raise it up a little bit. I love when it's just stuff right in the background that adds so much texture to whatever it is that you're layering. Because right now I'm obviously layering like some sounds with the original sound, but I love when it's just adding a lot of texture, and that's what I'm looking for. Additional sounds, especially with these type of beats, because I want to keep them as simple as possible, but simplicity is not always just boring, you know, adding texture, adding maybe a vocal chop after. It's always going to add a lot. Okay, for the third thing, I'm going to add this vocal chop I found super, super nice. It sounds like this. Same vocal sample pack that I've been using for a while now. I've been using almost every vocal sample in there, which is good because I've been putting it to good use, right? So let's record that in. Let's try to see what I can come up with some samples that sound pretty good with this. Let's go. Ooh, that was a lot better. And then I did another vocal chop right here. Let's see what I could do with this one. I'm gonna mute this real quick and then bring this other vocal chop, probably mesh the two and see what I can come up with. Just feel it. And I am going to slow it down a bit. So what I love about Serato, you can manipulate it. Just quantize this. Slow it down even more, 95 maybe. Slow it down even more. Maybe take this one off. Put this one right at the end. This one a little bit before. Copy this and just put it here. This one can go a little bit more back. Okay, now let's create a bus with these two. So shift, click both of them, create a stack, summings track. Now I could just add everything in one bus instead of doing everything individually. Let's try to EQ this with the Infinity EQ from Slate Digital, because I feel like this EQ is a little bit better. It doesn't completely squash all the frequencies down. Let's just go ahead and EQ the vocals together. Let's just do a completely... We gotta add a Valhalla for sure. Let's do dirty plate to dirty it up. I'm also gonna add an RC20 to this just to make the vocals sound even more vintage. And I'm gonna go with the VHS option. And I'll do another EQ, raise up a little bit of the high frequencies here. Sometimes 2 EQs is better than 1. Nice and subtle. Just leave it like that. Okay, so now let's just add some drums. I'm gonna go ahead, look for a nice rim shot with this type of sample right here so far. Very simple. But it's so full already, right? It gives us a lot of space to add some drums. You know, you can keep it as simple as possible, but the piano has to be the main instrument driving the whole beat the whole time. So let's look for a nice perk or rim shot. I think this one can work actually. That one might be a little bit too harsh, but I don't know, it might just work. Let's start with the step sequencer, of course. I feel like one of the vocal chops is off now. That one's a little bit early, so let's fix that really quick. This one right here, it should be right there. I love that little offbeat vocal. Make it a little bit less subtle. Duplicate this and let's add a kick. We gotta add a kick right away, man. I think this one might work. This might be a better kick right here if I switch it up. Let's see if I switch this one up. Let's brighten up this kick. for these type of beats, just make the beat super simple. Don't overcomplicate it. This pattern right here is perfect. You know, usually I like to go crazy with all my different percussion instruments, but for these type of beats, I would just keep it as simple as possible. So let's go ahead and add some hi-hats. It's gonna be playing straight through the whole time. Just a simple hi-hat pattern. I do want the velocity to be kind of off like this. And let's add like one little roll somewhere right here, just. And what I'm gonna do is just duplicate that and then remove the pattern here, maybe just 2, because it'll change for the second bar loop. There you go. Velocity again. Change the velocity on this one. And I'm gonna change the hi-hat because this one's a little too crazy. I want something more high-pitched. Maybe this one. Try this one. Hey, that one definitely works. Let's just pitch this down a bit. Okay, now I'm gonna add the sub bass. I do want to add a little bit of percussions after the sub, so I'm gonna do this a little bit different than I'm normally used to, but I'm gonna go ahead and use something from the sample pack that I got a while back. I think it was from the Vibe kit pack. I'm not sure where I got it from exactly, but I know it was from Vibe. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and use this bass here. I like how the attack just goes up and down, and I might just add some distortion afterwards, but let's try to make something happen. And for the sub bass, drawing it in for these type of beats, you gotta feel it more than drawing it in. So record something. Here we go. Quantize. What I'm gonna do is I am gonna make 2 bars here because I don't want the same bass loop to be playing the whole entire time. So I'm gonna play something different here on this part right here. Let's record this again. A little bit more simple this time. It's just crazy, bro. Like, this be so wavy, bro. Such a vibe. Let's try to EQ this in, see if we could make it stick out a little bit more. Hey, we can widen it up a little bit. And I'm add a little bit of distortion here. Don't want it to distort too much, but it's still tiny. It's rattling for sure. That low end's hitting nice. Let's reduce a little bit more low end. And just reduce a little bit more distortion. Sometimes it's not about adding more volume to make things hear more. It's just about EQing them, popping out different frequencies. That'll make it stand out a lot more. I am gonna go ahead and add an open hat. So let me duplicate this. Let's look for a nice open hat sample. This one's pretty nice. You know, nothing crazy. Let me just leave it there. This is sounding crazy. Forgot to mention that I did lower this beat 2 BPM lower. I feel like it was a little bit too fast, but I feel like it's right there now. The last thing I'm gonna add, believe it or not, I wanna add like a lead somewhere for just like a bridge or a chorus or something like that. Probably the last thing I'm gonna add, that would be it. But I don't know what lead sound I'm gonna add. So bear with me as I look for this. I think I'm gonna just go to Pigments and see if I can find something simple, like just a classic lead for this one. I'm gonna EQ it like crazy, so it's not gonna be that loud. I think that's gonna work for sure. I'm gonna make this very, very subtle. Like, it's barely gonna be heard, but it's gonna be there. And the reason I did this just to add some flavor to it, but you know, I'm not gonna be playing this the whole time, that's for sure. Like the whole beat. Some reverb. Nice. So now let's just arrange this beat and I'll play the final beat in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Bless those keys, the RMC.
If you're at the deep end of this video, go ahead and comment down below. I'm at the deep end of this video. Don't forget to like this video if you're here this far. I should have said like this video from the beginning, but it's all good. Don't forget to comment and subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. We're finally at 2,000 subscribers, so let's go for 3,000 now. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, stay blessed and stay positive. Peace.